Hi, everybody. There was a little girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. And when she was good, she was very, very good. And when she was bad, she was horrid. That's what my parents used to say to me all the time. Can you imagine that I could be a horrible, wretched little brat? Ah, I'm sure you're surprised to hear that I had that in me when I was young. But I did. Okay, here we go. Keto under 20. It's my lifestyle. Is it yours? Do you like it? Did you have a good Christmas week with all of the treats that were just like thrown at us? Did you find it easy to be, I'm just doing keto, thank you? Did you have people question you? Did you have people give you a hard time? Well, I didn't have people give me a hard time, but as I said, my daughter-in-law, asked me, do you ever cheat? It's like, no. So I was working. I worked those 4 overnights Christmas week at the jail, and so I had quite the opportunity. So sometimes my brain just does what it does, and so I just indulge myself watching keto people that I've never seen before just to see what they're all about. And it's pretty amazing. The people out there that are accountable with their own channel, and they treat keto like it's if you want to do it on the days that you want to do it, you do it, and on the other days you just have carbs. I'm just like, I'm watching, and there's an amusement factor, but it's like, well, did you want your health to get better? Did you want to lose weight, or do you just like, the sometimes part-time keto? I don't know. And then the giggling. And you know what that giggling does to me. If you want to send me to the moon and back and not on a pleasure cruise, just say, yeah, I had all these things that weren't keto. It sends me. It's like, how can you do this? How can you be accountable to all of your subscribers? But I guess I was reading the comments because it's so different than what my keto audience seems to be. And so I'm not finding the ones that like allowed this and had that and tee-hee and giggle, and maybe after the first I'll do something. It's kind of like they're drawing the people that find it comforting to have people that also cheated. I don't know. Is it that human condition or something? I don't know. But I like being keto, black and white, and that podcast that I did about the black and white was very, very interesting. And a lot of you out there kind of are like me in the sense of when it comes to keto, you're black and white, and when it comes to life, it's all gray. And I think that for me, the structure of knowing that my day is in place with my keto OMAD, 1 meal a day, is like set. It's settled. It's good. It's like what I need so I can handle the gray, because the gray is the other stuff. It's the people, places, and things that have a life of their own that I have no control over. And so I think having this little part of my world having control, it's like if you haven't had a vehicle and you've been dependent, or you've had an operation or something and you're dependent on somebody having to take you places, pick you up, get you there on time, and bring you home without too many detours, and then sitting with them while they drive if they don't drive how you do. Um, versus getting your car back from the shop, or being able to drive again from the doctor giving you permission. And it's like, oh, I have control over getting behind the wheel and going where I'm going to go again. And that's how my keto is for me. It's like, to have that 1 meal a day, and to have that plate that I can put it on, or the salad bowl on the side with the plate with the protein, it's done. It's there. And I don't have to, I don't have to argue anybody over it or debate or anything. It's the one area of control that I can have. And I think I found from a lot of you that over this past Christmas week, which seems to be like a whole week of food events, that it's pretty easy to do keto. it's pretty easy. You don't have to fight about it a lot. I mean, it's like, you know, what event doesn't have like a protein, like a piece of animal protein, something like a, you know, a roast or a chicken or something like that, a salad, and maybe a couple of veggie opportunities, not green bean casserole, but, you know, vegetables that you could just add a, a butt of patter to, a pat of butter to, and just enjoy, right? And so I think a lot of you found that, and I know I did. I had the Corando ham on my big A salad at Christmas, and I didn't have to, like, I squinted at the items that I made, I provided, that were not keto friendly, and I survived. I did okay. I mean, I was looking down into my big salad bowl and enjoying that, and I didn't have to debate whether, you know, there was a part of me, the old me, that would have played around with it. Well, I'll just have a piece of the lasagna and I'll just pull out the noodles and just have the sauce and the ricotta and the melted cheese and the meat that I put in the sauce, and then I'll have a couple of Italian No, no. I just went right ahead and had my big A salad like I do so many other days. And I'm sure to some of them, it's like, wow, she has so much food restriction. How come she's not enjoying her food? I did enjoy my food because whatever it is from being keto and fat adapted, I'm used to a big A salad. I love the extra oils and the feta cheese and having, you know, hard-boiled eggs on it, and now those slivered almonds sautéed in a little Kerrygold added to it. It's just like, je ne sais pas. I love it. J'adore. And it's what makes me happy. I don't feel deprived or like I'm missing something, or like last year before keto, it was a lot more fun. I don't feel that way. I don't feel deprived at all. I love the idea. I'm taping this on the 27th of December, but it's going to air on the 30th. I love the fact that it's like, it was okay, and I got through it, and I wasn't craving, you know, what's on other people's plates and things like that. It's so doable for me. I love the black and white of it, and it's kind of like how I love my days. You know, I'm one that loves to celebrate the ordinary, and the ordinary is, you know, waking up and having a bulletproof coffee, my lemon water, taping a couple of these podcasts to send up to YouTube to you, and being able to go to my 12-step meeting, doing a couple of errands, and just having the luxury of a day that can unfold any way it's going to, without without the head so busy like it used to be when I was in full food addict mode. It wasn't a fun place to be. And it just took from me, it robbed. And so celebrating the ordinary of a regular keto day where I've tracked and measured and planned, I've had my bulletproof coffee, I'm going to have a second one later in the day, and it seems to work for me. It's like two coffees in my fat fasted window, and then I will have my one meal a day. And it just seems to suit my digestion. My head is much calmer. I really struggled when I was at 2 meals a day, thinking, you know, people were talking about going to the 1 meal a day, and I really thought it would be a leap that I just couldn't do. And it's worked, and the effect in my head, I know I'm having my 1 meal today, but I'm not like living for it, thank you very much. You know, there's other parts of the day that have the pleasure, even if it's a guilty pleasure, like watching what I watch and on TV. Have any of you seen SMILF? I'm telling you, SMILF, and you know what that stands for, right? Mm-hmm. What a classic. And the Boston accents, of course, I love. But celebrating the ordinary is just, it's just like a gift of, for me, having my food program black and white, and celebrating the ordinary of the day is like the gray part of the day, where it's going to have that sort of movement and action where I have no control, but I have a keto calmness, if you will, that can just have me go through it quietly, or making the right decision, or not getting wrapped up with it. My friend, I mentioned this a couple of videos ago, where she was going to let her broken gasket in her washing machine ruin her holiday. And 5 years ago, when we became friends, her family wanted nothing to do with her. And so it's like, do you see how that is? So, helping, doing that little brief smackdown that I did, getting her to the place where she could go back to celebrating the ordinary. And for a lot of us, with especially this Christmas week, there are so many parts of it that we can celebrate. Some of us love the wrapping, the calmness, the anticipation. Others like all the chaos of kids and grandkids and noise and wrapping paper everywhere, and putting the ribbons on animals' necks and seeing how they deal with it, don't deal with it. And for some keto people, it seems to be permission to eat non-keto foods, but that's not us, right? And then, the after effects of just knowing, having that warm memory that, you pulled off a few days in a row of abstinence with your food, that you're not bloated and in a fog and in that coma and feeling disgusted because you stepped off of your keto wagon, to enjoy some things that you promised yourself you could have. And you've got this food hangover that, like, where did this come from? Well, it's because you've been doing keto and your body has become adapted, probably, that, to have the non-keto foods really, really throws you. It would be like having a cigarette after not having one for a year, or having a drink after not having one. It's just, you don't realize how healthy you've made your body and how adapted you've become to your certain regimen of foods, to suddenly give it up because the addict is sentimental and is remembering, other people's cooking and how it tasted last year, and you start romancing the idea of, like, I'm going to have it again this year. Hope not. So anyway, I hope that you are celebrating the ordinary as we end out 2017, and your keto plan is what works for you and your way of eating and your way of life, and that you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, well under 20, because that's where I find my comfort zone. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.